Hi everyone, I'm Deanne from Newfoundland, Canada. Welcome to my Flosstube channel, Stitching on the Rock. We are at episode 89 and it is the 24th of January. Welcome if you're new. I had some new subscribers in the last week. Oh, sorry, itchy nose. So welcome to you, and if you're just checking me out for the first time, I hope that you will hit the subscribe button. Everyone else, hi! So I did my whip parade last week. It was also my 4th floss anniversary. So I had some giveaways. If you're interested in checking them out, watch the whip parade. I'm not drawing for them today. I said I was going to give some latecomers a chance to watch and be able to enter. I asked everyone to vote on their preference for my next full coverage focus piece after I'm done with this one. It was the question you had to answer in order to enter into the giveaways and then numerically pick them. If you're not interested in the giveaways, vote anyway, because it's a really tight race. Right now, the leader is only leading by 1 vote, so go and check that out and do that. I'm a day early this week. I usually film on Sunday, but there's a possibility that I may be going out of town for the day. We'll see. Depends on the weather. We had snow this morning, but it's a beautiful sunny day now. I went without my ring light. We'll see how it goes. I hate the little green circles in my glasses, and I also have a really hard time seeing what I show you with that ring light, so we're going to see how it goes without it. I have an FFO, and I have 8 whips to show you. I have plans. I have Flosstube shoutouts, all that fun stuff. This is my second attempt at this, so I'm just wondering where I stuck my FFO. Okay, this looks right behind me because I've already shown it once. So we'll see. So I FFO'd my Rainbow Temperature Supernova, which was my temperature chart that I stitched all of 2025. I found this frame at thrift store. It was 12 by 12. My piece is 10 by 10, so I put some fabric in behind it, some space fabrics, which I think works with it perfectly. So here we are. Sorry about the glare. Oh, my light and everything. You're going to get my ceiling light and everything. So I'm really happy with the way it turned out. But like you can see, I tried to pick the fabric and the planets and that so that the orange one was down where some oranges were. And then I've got there's a turquoise one over here by where the turquoise is. And there's blue up here by the blues. So I tried to match the planets with the colors in the pattern. And yeah, it turned out pretty good. I don't know that I'll hang it on the wall. I may get one of those picture things where you sit it down in it, and we'll see. I haven't really made that decision yet either. But yeah, I'm really happy with the way it's turned out. So on to my whips. Of course, the first one I'm going to show you is on the bottom of the pile. So first up is my focus piece. Oh, I should tell you, I said I was going to do better with stats and that, but like not 20 minutes worth of stats. But I did count up all my stitches that I did in the last 2 weeks, and I have done 7,099 stitches. If I had known before this morning when I counted them up that I needed 1 more stitch to get to 8,000, I would have found somewhere to stick one in. But anyway, I thought that was pretty good. I don't know. I've never tracked my stitching, so it'll be interesting to track over the year and see how we did. So River's Edge is my focus piece. It's by Kevin Daniel. It's a Heaven and Earth design piece. This is what it's going to look like when it's done. This is a birthday gift for my son, hoping to have, if not framed, then at least completely stitched by the end of July. So since you saw it in my last regular video, I have put in 3,780 stitches, and I am at 51.62%. This is what it looked like in the last video. And here it is now. So hopefully you can see that it's grown by 3,000 stitches, almost 4,000 stitches. It's hard to judge on this piece where it has gotten. I've been all over the place like I usually am with it. But yep, really, really enjoying it. Someone asked if he knew I was stitching it, and yes, he does. I don't think that he's, like, he comes in once in a while I'm stitching on and says, oh, great progress. But I don't know that he has seen the whole thing and where I am with it. So next up, we have another full coverage. This is Quick Stitch Snowflake Wonder by Lisa Victoria for Heaven and Earth Design. This is what it's going to look like. Oops, sorry. Everything is just sliding all over the place. It is stitched 2/2 on ice blue. What else can I tell you? This is what it looked like in the last video. And since then, I have put 715 stitches in it. So I am at 32.20%. Here we are. So since then, I've put some working on the background. I think I put some more working on his head. So lots and lots of blue. But a lot of fun. I think I'm pretty close to the right hand corner with those blue stitches. Next up, we have It's Snow Time by Cottage Garden Samplings. This is the 4th piece that I've done in this series. I picked one for each season and have a backing piece that once they're all done, I'll be able to interchange them seasonally. So he is stitched 1/2 on 36 count Winter Moon that I then over dyed with some Rit dye. This is what it looked like in the last video. And here is where he is now. So I've used to see his progress. I worked on the tree. I think there's a little tiny bit more, like his arm, the branch where his arm comes out, and there's a little tiny bit more of the tree below that. And now he's got a face, eyes, nose, mouth, and I've almost finished his head. His scarf, I think maybe 2-3 rows down, his scarf starts. Yep. So looking good. It's hard to see the border on the video, but it is there, and I can see it definitely in person. And a couple of snowflakes. Maybe if I fold it up, you might be able to, I don't know how good you guys can see it. Next we have January Quilt by Paula Vaughn. This is stitched, I'll show you where it's from first. It's from Quilts for All Seasons book. And it is this piece right here. And you all know that I have been slogging away in the curtain. It's stitched 2/2 on 28 count white even weave. And I am almost done with the curtain. This is what it looked like in the last video. And since you saw it, I put in 601 stitches. And here is where we are. Actually. Yeah. So here's where we are. So you can see the curtain is almost done. I just have some here. And I know the basket handle comes up into the curtain. And there's a little bit on this side of the basket handle and a little bit in this, like the center of the basket handle. So I may, work here, and then I may come down and do the handle and then fill in around it the next time it comes up. So yep, looking really good. Next we have Winter Row by Bent Creek, which is this piece here. This is my 3rd seasonal row. I have summer and fall done. I don't have spring yet in my stash, so once this one is done, I'll have to purchase spring. It's done 2/2 and an unknown blue-green even weave. Oh, I said even weave. It might, no, actually, I think it might be a linen. It's really hard to tell because it's pretty even. But no, I think it is a linen. And this is what it looked like in the last video. And this is what it looks like now. So got him all finished, the first snowman, started in on the alphabet. So the alphabet I'll go really quickly. It's the snowman that will take a little longer with all the white. Next we have Starlight Snowflake by It's So Emma, which is this piece here. Got from a friend when she was destashing, but I am doing the blue. And I'm doing it 1/1 on a 28 count white even weave. And this is what it looked like in the last video. And here we are now. Since you saw it last, I put in 119 stitches, which is not a lot, but I got these two snowflakes and this little design in between them done. So I'm getting close to the end on this one. Well, you know, like this all gets repeated on this section, so won't be long. And then finally, or not finally, but second last, is one of my whip go calls. This was number 2. In my book here, I think it was number 2. It was called for January. Yes, January, my call was an Etsy pattern, and I didn't have any in my January whips that I had pulled out. So I pulled out this piece, which I first knew it as Season's Greetings, but then I have found it as Winter Wreath. It's by Emma Condon, which is Stitcherovia on Etsy, and this is what it looked like the last time you saw it. And I put in, before I did the stitching, it was 250 was my goal, and I put in 256, and it's on Pattern Keeper, so it is at 15.44%. And here is where I am. So I put in the stitches in this piece here. That was 256 stitches. And I said the last time I brought it out that every time I bring it out, I'm going to stitch an ornament, but that was my goal. So next time I will finish that one. And then finally, an unexpected whip for this month was Little Things Sampler by Stitches Through the Years, which is going to look like this when it's done. And Whip Warriors had a pop-up challenge, and one of the things that none of my whips for January fell into was to stitch on a sampler. And I only have 2 samplers. I love the look of them. You have to be too perfect with them for me. I'm not a perfectionist, and with a sampler, if you're wrong, you can't just fudge it like you can with a full coverage or some of the little pieces. So the other one is Atlantic Seaboard by Jeanette Douglas, and because a lot of the rows have specialty stitches, they're hard to count. So Little Things it was. This is what it looked like when I started. Oh, and like I stitched the little row that's only got a little bit in the previous picture. I stitched all the way across and discovered I had a mistake, and I had to frog back everything I had stitched plus about 5 stitches more. So, and then I had to restitch it. So I put 500 stitches in it. Everything is working out, which is great. So here is where we are. Oh, hopefully I can get it all in. Sorry, this is very wrinkly. Oh, this is done 1/2 on 36 count light mocha, and it's a very wrinkly fabric, as you can tell. So this is the row that I had it all the way over here and discovered a mistake and had to come all the way back over to here and restitch it, but I did it, and I got the little flowery buds done. And this line, there's a double line that comes down here, 2 different colors, so I brought down one side and I brought down the other side. And then I started on the letters, which are done 1/1 on 36 count. Oh, and I did these two little motifs right on each end. Yeah, this is going to take some time. In between here, there is a section of satin stitches, and there are satin stitches in these little things, and there are satin stitches in these, but I don't know how to count satin stitches when I'm counting, so the satin stitches may end up being all at the end. But yeah, it's looking pretty good. I won this pattern several years ago from Mouse Potato Designs here on Flosstubes. So yeah, I'm very pleased with the way that is turning out. I don't know if you do whip go, if you haven't noticed, the February numbers have been called, they are number 5, which for me is to stitch on something with an animal, and number 22, which for me is to stitch on a Halloween piece. So there's all of my stitching that I have done since my last regular video. What else? I've been shouting out Flosstubers I met on the Jingle Ball, so I have 3 today, and I will have 3 in my next video, and that will be everyone I meet. And in May, I will take better notes on who I met. So first up is Emma from Rose Cottage Creates. Second is Natalie from Sew Stitch Sew Natalie, or Sew Stitch Sew Nat. Fun fact, I'm Natalie Deanne. I go by my middle name, and when we're in the rooms chatting, and every time I hear the word Natalie, it's like someone talking to me, even though I never use Natalie except in official documents and, you know, doctors and government. But yeah. And thirdly is Patty from 4 Boys and NL Girl, and Brennan Nettle, who is a local stitcher to me, who hopefully I will see next Saturday at our stitching day. So those are 3. I will link them below. If you haven't checked out their channels, go and do that. And lastly, plans. So I had started out the year thinking I'm dividing my whips up into months, and each month I'm going to stitch on those whips, and the rest of them are going to be put away. And my friends Michelle and Sharon, hey guys, decided they were going to do temperature stitching, and I don't know who started temperature stitching, but it's where you pick out 10 projects and you assign a number from 0 to 9 to them, and depending on the high temperature for that day, that is the piece you stitch on. And they've been having so much fun with it, and I've had so much fun. They share in our little chat group their progress every day, and so I decided in February I'm joining them for their temperature stitching. So I have picked out 10 whips, and I never thought about organizing them to show you, but I will in my next video show you the 10 whips that I picked. Some of them are ones that you've seen today, and then I took out the full coverages, and I added some others that were not full coverage that I had planned to stitch on in February and March. I'm still focusing on River's Edge. That will be stitched on every day, or almost every day. Sometimes I burn out and say, not today. But that will be the focus, and my goal for the temperature stitching is only 100 stitches. So I will put 100 stitches into whichever piece that is for the day, and then River's Edge will come out, and possibly a couple of other full coverages that I'll work on. Like each month I'll switch them out. And I think that's everything for plans. Life has been uneventful. I'm not allowed to use the B word anymore. It's been uneventful. Except hopefully I will get out of town for tomorrow, and I'll have some pictures to share with you on the next video. And we have tickets. My sister, my brother-in-law, Aaron, and I have got tickets to a draw to the Briar, which will be here in St. John's at the end of February into March. And for those of you who don't know, the Briar is the National Men's Curling Championship of Canada. And we have a team, Team Guju, from St. John's, that has been one of the best in the world, and their skip Brad Guju is retiring this year, and so we get to go and see him play one last time, and very excited to go and get to see that. Aaron's been doing his life skills, he's been doing his Special Olympics, he's been doing pretty good, and I think that's it. Enjoy the rest of your day. I hope that if you're in the path of this storm that you stay warm and safe, and I'll see you in a couple of weeks.